comfortable evening's work then for Jurgen Klopps at Liverpool, a 2-0 win. And it's a victory that puts them top of the table, 4 clear of Manchester City, who are of course in action tomorrow. Virgil van Dijk very much the star of the show for Liverpool. Craig Burley taking to Twitter. If VVV doesn't get on the team bus with a large Havana cigar, then he's doing his performance a disservice. Meanwhile, Ian Dark saying at this rate, Virgil van Dijk might be the first defender since Steve Nicol in 1989 to be voted Footballer of the Year by the Football Writers. This really was a great defensive display. That's how it's done, isn't it?
Comfortable. You want to look at a defender that is under control when he goes in a 1v1 situation. There were moments where Adama Traore was running down the right-hand side and he was about to take him towards the end line. And Virgil van Dijk was essentially saying, all right, Adama, go ahead, buddy, go ahead and take me on. He was there, under control. Everybody's huffing and puffing around him. He's just tackling the ball, winning it, give it to the next guy. See you guys later. We're done here. And that's how it was time and time again. And you see that level of comfort if you're everybody else around him. And if you're the goalkeeper, if you're the team, if you're Jurgen Klopps, there's a sense of confidence that you feel when you know that this is the guy that you have in the back line. Because it frees everybody else to do their job. You don't have to worry about what happens with Virgil van Dijk because you know he's going to do his job and he's going to do it very well.
Look at last year. After 18 games, Liverpool conceded 20 goals. Last year, this year, just 7.
Yeah.
What a signing he's been, Shaka.
It has been. And Alisson has also helped in that respect. But as Ali rightly points out, certainly today has been about Virgil van Dijk. I cannot recall seeing a more complete and composed defensive performance than the one we saw over 90 minutes by Van Dijk today. Steve Nicol will point out that never once did he have to go to ground to make a challenge. Never once did he find himself out of position and having to scramble to figure out what to do next or to avert the next effort by Wolves. This was outstanding, and as Ali points out, when you play in a team and somebody has that kind of presence, it lifts a load off of everybody else's shoulders, and you respond. Your game raises, everybody plays with that confidence, and it's showing in the numbers.
Gab, I suppose people would say, "Oh, calm down, boys. It's only Wolves."
Yeah, and I actually think in the first 45 minutes, I certainly thought Wolves were unlucky to go into the break a goal down. I thought they actually played quite well, and I thought what made Van Dijk stand out, and maybe this is the real difference with last year, is I don't think Liverpool as a team played particularly well. We saw Firmino in basically playing in the hole again. I thought he struggled there. I thought Keita in that 4-2-3-1 wasn't quite himself at the back. You had Milner coming back from injury, being forced to play right back because of absentees. You had Lovren being Lovren. And amidst all of this is this colossus Van Dijk. Certainly, he was left one-on-one in the open field against Traore more times than you would want if your defense is defending well, but he absolutely handled it. And I think he and Salah, but I think especially Van Dijk, were the real difference makers today.
That goal for Salah, meanwhile, puts him at the top of the leading goal scorer list. Now 1 clear of Aubameyang. Boy, he set a high standard, didn't he? Last year, and earlier on we were saying, he hasn't quite that same confidence, same touch in front of goal. Is it fair to say he's back to his best?
He's back to a level of confidence that allows him to score the goal that he scored today. When you see...
How difficult is that, Ali?
Well, I couldn't tell you because outside my range, first of all. Let's be fair. But just the idea that the way he just kind of flicks the ball on, a little slap and says, see you guys later. I'm here. I know what I'm doing. I'm under control. This ball is being played to me. Everything's scrambling around me. And in that very short period of time, in that fraction of a second, to make that decision and then be able to execute that decision, that's the difference. Mohamed Salah right now playing on the confidence, on the heels of the hat trick, and then he just feels like now he's just to the point where he's saying, yep, let's go. Here we go now.
Keep in mind the conditions of the pitch at tonight's game. Very wet, slick surface. The ball slung across by Fabinho, yet somehow Salah gets his timing perfectly right. And as ridiculous as it is, as ridiculous as the numbers would suggest, I still don't think that Salah is back to his best. Certainly this front three, as a three, aren't where they were this time next year.
That's not his fault, though, is it?
No, it's not. But if you're Liverpool and if you're banking on Mohamed Salah and you realize that he still has another gear to go, yet you're sitting top of the table, he's top of the goal scoring list so far, that is an outstanding position to be in because you know it can only get better.
Well, I think it's a reflection of the fact that the front three for Liverpool are not quite where they need to be. That we're talking about Salah maybe not being at his best, because his best also was dependent upon Sadio Mane playing well and Roberto Firmino playing well, and that made Salah even better. But the fact that he's still scoring goals, and Liverpool is, and I remind people, 4 clear of Manchester City, without us talking about Liverpool having played their best, to your point, I mean, what else do we want?